You check on them before bed. You tiptoe out of the room, hoping the floor won't creak. You've read the sleep training books, the schedules, the swaddle guides. You are doing everything right. At least, that is what you think. But what if some of the most normal nighttime habits, the ones that feel completely harmless, are quietly making your baby feel more alone than you realize? Research from the Harvard Center on the Developing Child has shown that a baby's nervous system develops its sense of safety largely through physical proximity to a caregiver, especially during sleep transitions. Proximity isn't a preference, it's regulation. So today, we're going through 9 everyday sleep habits that may be working against your baby's sense of closeness, and most parents have no idea they're doing them. Stay until number 3, because that's the one almost every parent does and almost no one talks about. 9. Moving your baby to their own room the moment they can sleep through the night. You've hit a milestone. Your baby slept 5, maybe 6 hours straight, and every well-meaning voice around you says it's time for their own space. That feels like progress. The American Academy of Pediatrics actually recommends room sharing, not bed sharing, for at least the first 6 months, and ideally the first year, specifically because nearby caregivers respond faster to subtle cues before they escalate into full distress. This isn't about babying your baby. It's about the fact that a developing nervous system doesn't yet have the tools to self-soothe reliably. It borrows that regulation from you. To your baby, distance at night doesn't register as independence. Their brain doesn't have a concept of next room, still safe. What registers is simply, the person who regulates me isn't near me right now. You don't have to bed share to fix this. Keeping the crib in your room a little longer, even past the point where they're sleeping well, gives their nervous system more reps at feeling safe before you widen the distance. 8. Rushing goodnight so you can finally sit down. By the time bedtime rolls around, you're running on fumes. You want the lights off and the door shut so you can breathe for 10 minutes. Nobody blames you for that. But developmental research on infant transitions, including work coming out of attachment studies following Dr. Mary Ainsworth's framework, points to something specific. Babies read the emotional tone of a transition more than the content of it. A rushed goodnight carries a different signal than a slow one, even if the words are identical. Their brain doesn't process, "Mom is tired." It processes, "This moment ended fast, and I'm not sure why." Endings that feel abrupt can leave a baby slightly more alert, slightly harder to settle, precisely when you need the opposite. The fix isn't more time, it's pace. Even 60 unhurried seconds, a slower voice, a longer look, tells their nervous system the goodbye was intentional, not escaped from. 7. Using a sleep app or monitor instead of your own presence to check. You glance at the monitor screen instead of walking in. It's efficient. It's also, quietly, a habit of watching your baby sleep from a distance instead of being part of it. Dr. Ed Tronick's research on caregiver responsiveness, most famous through the still face experiment, demonstrated that infants distinguish sharply between a caregiver who is present and attuned versus one who is technically nearby but disengaged. A monitor gives you information. It doesn't give your baby the felt sense of you. To a baby, being watched isn't the same as being with. Their nervous system calibrates off real proximity, voice, touch, scent, not a video feed you happen to be looking at. This doesn't mean throw out the monitor. It means occasionally trading the glance for a hand on their back mid-sleep, so their sense of closeness isn't only digital. 6. Letting screens or bright lights linger in the hour before bed, including your own. You're not putting your baby in front of a screen, but you're scrolling next to the crib while they wind down, or the hallway light stays on bright until the last second. Sleep research, including studies published in Infant Behavior and Development, has linked light exposure before sleep to delayed melatonin onset in infants, meaning their bodies take longer to shift into the biological state that signals safe to rest. Light isn't just visual, it's a chemical cue. Their brain doesn't distinguish mom's phone from still daytime. What it reads is simply, the environment hasn't signaled night yet, so alertness stays partly switched on. You don't need total darkness an hour early. Dimming the main light and setting your own phone down 10 minutes before you start the routine gives their body a cleaner signal to downshift.
5. Comforting them differently depending on your mood that day. Some nights you're patient and slow. Other nights, after a long day, you comfort faster, more mechanically, just trying to get through it. Understandably human. Dr. Daniel Siegel's work on interpersonal neurobiology at UCLA points to consistency of response, not perfection of response, as what builds a baby's internal sense of predictability. Babies aren't tracking whether you're calm, they're tracking whether comfort behaves the same way each time. To your baby, an inconsistent response doesn't read as, "Mom is stressed today." It reads as, "I'm not sure what happens when I'm upset." That uncertainty can make settling harder, not easier, over time. The fix isn't forcing calm you don't feel. It's keeping the shape of your response the same. Same words, same sequence, even on the nights your patience is thin. 4. Saying "you're fine" when they wake up crying. It's fast, it's automatic, and it's meant to reassure. You want them to know there's nothing to worry about. But research on emotional validation in early childhood, an area Dr. Siegel has written about extensively, suggests that dismissing a baby's distress, even gently, can leave the nervous system in the same aroused state because the feeling was never acknowledged, only talked over. Reassurance without acknowledgement doesn't land the same way. Their brain isn't reassured by the words, "you're fine." It's still sitting in whatever startled or unsettled them, waiting for someone to confirm it was real. Try naming it first. "That was a big noise, huh?" Before the reassurance. Acknowledgement first, comfort second. In that order, helps the nervous system actually settle instead of just quiet down. 3. Teaching your baby to fall asleep completely alone before they're developmentally ready to. This is the one almost every parent has heard conflicting advice about, and almost no one explains the why behind it clearly. You've been told independent sleep is the goal. Somewhere along the way, independent got confused with isolated. Sleep researchers and pediatric bodies, including guidance referenced by the American Academy of Pediatrics, distinguish between self-soothing skills developing gradually versus being expected all at once. A baby's prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain involved in self-regulation, is nowhere near mature in the first year. Expecting full independent settling before that capacity exists isn't training a skill. It's asking for a skill that isn't built yet. To your baby, being left to figure out sleep entirely alone before they have the internal tools to do it doesn't feel like growth. It feels like the person who regulates them disappeared at the exact moment they needed regulating most. That's not a knock on any particular sleep method. Many are used thoughtfully and responsibly. It's specifically about the pace, not the existence, of independence. The fix isn't abandoning the goal of independent sleep. It's building it in layers, staying present while they learn to settle, then gradually stepping back, instead of removing yourself all at once and hoping the skill appears on its own. 2. Assuming a good sleeper means a securely attached baby. You've probably heard this compliment. "Wow, they're such a good sleeper." It sounds like a parenting win. It can also be one of the most misleading things said in early parenthood. Dr. Ainsworth's original attachment research never equated ease of sleep with security of attachment. In fact, some babies stop signaling distress at night not because they feel safe, but because their signals have stopped being responded to consistently, and they've learned crying doesn't change anything. That's not calm. That's a nervous system that's gone quiet from repetition, not resolution. To a baby, going quiet doesn't always mean, I feel safe here. Sometimes it means no one is coming, so there's no point. The outward behavior, silence, stillness, can look identical whether the cause is security or resignation. You don't need to panic every time your baby sleeps easily. Many babies genuinely do settle well and securely. The fix is simply not to treat quiet as proof of anything on its own. Pay attention to how your baby is during the day, how they respond to you when upset, how they seek you out. That's where security actually shows up.
1. Believing closeness at night is something you either give into or hold firm against. Here's the belief sitting underneath almost everything on this list. Somewhere, sleep got framed as a battle. Either you give your baby too much closeness and create dependence, or you hold your ground and build independence. Most parents are quietly stuck choosing a side and feeling guilty no matter which one they pick. But that framing doesn't hold up against how attachment actually works. Dr. Ainsworth's research, along with decades of work that followed it, found that babies who have reliable access to a caregiver's presence when they need it don't become more dependent over time. They become more confident exploring independence because the foundation underneath them is stable. Proximity isn't the opposite of independence. It's the thing that makes independence possible later. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child describes this as a serve and return process. The back and forth of a baby signaling and a caregiver responding is literally what builds the architecture of a resilient brain. To your baby, closeness at night was never a request for less growth. It was the mechanism their whole nervous system uses to build the sense of safety that independence eventually grows out of. There's no tipping point where presence suddenly becomes harmful. There's only a gradual widening at their pace once the foundation is solid. The fix isn't choosing a side. It's trusting that responding to your baby now, especially at night, isn't undermining their independence. It's constructing it, one responded to cry at a time. None of these make you a bad parent. Every single one of them is fixable the moment you become aware of it. Babies do not need perfect parents. Research consistently shows they need good enough parents. Parents who miss the mark sometimes, but repair it. That repair is where the real bonding happens. If this video made you think about even one thing differently, share it with another parent who needs to hear it. And if you want to understand more about what's actually happening inside your baby's mind, subscribe, because we go deep on baby psychology every single week. See you in the next one.